Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fifth Sunday Sing. My name is Brian Griffing, and with me are our guests, Dusty Grant and Marty Bush. We want to welcome you all. Please say hi in the comments. And with us also is my dear co-host, Joe Johnson. Joe, how are you doing today?
Man, if I was any better, it'd be a crime.
Lock me up. Well, we want to jump right into it. We've got some excellent songs for you today. Hello to Diana Roberts. Thank you for tuning in. And let's just jump right into the music. Joe, will you take it away?
Yeah, man. All right. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining us. This is our fifth Sunday Sing, which is a lot of THs for a dude that grew up with a lisp. So thanks for joining us. I'm going to play a song to start out with here about the end of the world. I think it's a good thing to do on a beautiful Sunday afternoon is remind us that we're all going to die one day. This song is called Red Kachina. The red kachina is a reference to the Hopi prophecy of the red and blue kachinas at the end of the world. So, hope you enjoy. There's a fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Red Kachina for a rising sun. Ounce of mercy might weigh a ton. A fool born every day and I ain't the one. Ain't nothing in the desert but the sea of sand. Nothing but darkness in the heart of man. Don't nobody love you when you take a stand. When you take a stand, take a stand. Big muddy river, deep and wide. Secrets sleep beneath the tide. Fell into some dice, so I rolled a game. Won $200 off a man named James. Lost it all back, guess it's all the same. Drink a pint of Four Roses and forget my name. Walk 47 miles in the blacktop heat. Big leather boots strapped around my feet. Got anger in my heart, man, it's got me beat. Yeah, it's got me beat, it's got me beat. Big red Kachina start to smile. It'll all be over in a while. You're fine in a red light. Turn away for new light. There's a fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Red Kachina for a rising sun. Ounce of mercy, my way of tongue, my way of tongue.
Very nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to welcome a few folks here from Wichita, Kansas. We've got Adam Dunphy. We've got Trevorius Hart from Ashley, Illinois. And
what's up, man?
Folks in the chat as well. Thanks for joining us here. Joe, won't you introduce your guest for today?
Yes, sir. Yes, I will. This next fella, that last song of mine is part of a new set of tunes that are all kind of rock and roll based stuff, and I'm looking forward to rocking. But this dude rocks. All right, this dude right here is bad, and I've been a fan for a long time, and we played together. We've known each other for a few years now, and I've watched your career kind of start to blow up, and so I'm really excited to have you on the show. Thanks for doing this a lot, Mr. Dusty Grant.
Thank you. I'm humbled to be here. Joe, I was super bummed that you and I didn't get to play together with Randy Ollinger, but I'm stoked to be here. I'm going to play a couple of my songs. I'm going to play a couple songs off the Trapped Here EP, and then I'm probably going to play a country song that I learned for Joe. But this first song is called The Jester. This is the lead track on my Trapped Here EP that you can find everywhere. I wrote this one when I first started hitting the road and taking a run at the music thing on my own. I felt like I owed my family like almost an explanation. So that's kind of what this song was. But this song is The Jester. Forsake me for all that I am, pouring my heart out the shell of a man. This path that I am walking is my own. I'm chasing the dragon and scratching the edge. Strong, I'm broken, I'm reduced to this. This path that I am walking is my own. And I'm turning this corner all alone. Just have my back for a moment, just this time. And I need you to just trust these words of mine. I can't expect you to understand right now, but I'll get there and I'll make it up somehow. I'll make it up somehow. I've made mistakes and fell flat on my face, home empty-handed and I see embrace. This path that I am walking is my own, and I carry this burden all alone. Just have my back for a moment, just this time. And I need you to just trust these words of mine. I can't expect you to understand right now, but I'll get there and I'll make it up somehow. I'll make it up somehow. I won't hurt you, I won't desert you. Time slips by so fast. It's never last. Just have my back for a moment, just this time. And I need you to just trust these words of mine. Can't expect you to understand right now, but I'll get there and I'll make it up somehow. Make it up somehow. I'll make it up somehow. Oh, yeah. I've made mistakes and fell flat on my face. Home empty-handed and I see embrace. Thank you.
Very nice.
Well,
Thank
thank you, sir. Well, we were excited to have you join us. Like you said, Joe said, you've got a lot of things happening right now. It sounds like you've been getting a really good response on the single you just released.
Yes, sir.
What's that been like for you?
It's been wild. The thing that actually has happened in the last couple of weeks that I had never really planned for, and it's like a sentence that I never thought I would say, is that I had a TikTok go like berserk. It went over 100,000 views, and then all of a sudden people started hearing my music, and for some reason it found my niche of people. You know what I mean? Like that video started finding hard rock fans, and they were like, "Holy shit, we never heard you before!" And then people have gone in there, and they've started discovering my catalog. And my acoustic songs that I have out, I'm super proud of those. So it really makes me feel good almost. The success of the single is amazing, but it also feels great to have people diving back into those songs because I'm still proud of them. And I feel like they're still underappreciated. Like not enough people had heard them or whatever. And so now they're getting listened to, and it's been really cool to see. It's the TikTok thing is, it's daunting because you have to keep feeding the machine. If you're going to be successful on there, you have to be consistent. You got to grind. But it freaking paid off. It's been great. I've been really, my heart's super full right now. I've been feeling like people are actually listening to my music for the first time in a long time. And it's a real,
They are, man. People are listening like crazy to your music, and it's awesome because I know that you've earned every bit of it, man. You've scrapped from the bottom up, and I know that for a fact. So I think that we played together at the Elbow Room.
I don't know if we played together or we were supposed to play together and something fell through. I don't think we've actually ever played together because
Okay.
I think our first show together would have been the Rollin' Smoke Garage in
Yeah.
Walsenburg.
Yeah, that
And
one
then-
definitely was with RCO was pre-pandemic. But I know that, at that time, it was you were, still at the time that I was introduced to you, you were still like early into what you were doing, but you always
Definitely.
had that sort of tenacity of like, I'm going to do this, man. I'm going to be successful. So it's awesome to see it happening.
I appreciate it. And coming from you, it's a huge compliment, Joe. I've looked up to you. Kenny introduced me to your music and stuff like that, and I've always looked up to you because Kenny's he always kind of gave me guidance when I first started out. He's like, dude, you need to hit the road. You need to get out there and cut your teeth. You need to get used to playing in front of people solo. And
Kenny was real important.
he was a very important guy, and I miss him so much. But
I'm glad to see you repping all the.
of course,
awesome.
I always do, man. I always do. But yeah, he taught me a lot, and he introduced me to you. So to hear you, be complimentary, it's a huge compliment to me. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, going back to what you were saying earlier, the blowing up on the TikTok, I think that's the best possible outcome of interacting with technology, right? And
It is
kind of what we all hope for. I saw Joe's, last major release blow up in its own right earlier in the year, and that's exciting to see, right? So very cool. There's some folks here in the chat that are expressing their excitement for your sound and for your songs here, Dusty. And so thank you, Donna, for your comments. And Trevorius suggests that you should do something with Corey Taylor. So
Please.
I'll call him right after this stream and let him know.
Yeah. Watch me shit a brick.
Hey, man, get it on camera. It's content.
Yeah, big time.
Diana says, woohoo, Dusty. Yeah, very
Thank
nice.
you.
And so, yeah, we're so glad to have you guys here. To shift a tiny little bit, I want to introduce you guys to Marty Bush. I met Marty because he was the most excellent sound guy at the Dwayne Mark Memorial Show, and we kind of stayed in touch after that. And thing that's interesting about Marty is to say you have made the transition from kind of going in the opposite direction of Dusty, going from really heavy metal like really chugging guitar, and now you've kind of transitioned into the country world. And I mean, you've been interacting with that scene for a long time, but kind of what brought you to saying, hey, I would like to do more of this now and less of the other? Where does that take you?
Well, so the heavier band that I play in, Hyborian, we signed with Season of Mist in, I want to say like 2017, something like that. And basically hit the road really, really hard, cranked out 2 records in a really, really quick manner, and so that we had done an independent release right before we got signed to them that they reissued, and then the first thing that we actually put out on Season of Mist came out on March 19th of 2019, right when everything, I think it was 2019, whenever everything fell apart, whenever all the shutdowns started, so 2020, yeah. Time is weird right now. But yeah, so we basically, like, all of our tour plans for that year fell through, and coming to Europe and things like that all went away. And during the pandemic, a lot of guys in the band found other things to do to survive, and I also was going through a pretty nasty divorce at the time, and I grew up playing country music, and I was in a pretty dark spot, and spent a lot of time alone in my apartment that had a studio in it, and a lot of songs came out, and it kind of, I'm pretty sure that it kept me from putting my gun in my mouth. It was a pretty dark time, but everybody had a rough pandemic. Nobody wants to hear about that. But yeah,
country music to the rescue, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was really kind of the only thing that I could find to the songs that I was writing would not have worked in any sort of heavy sense at all. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm not leaving heavy music by any means, but
no, and you
I'm
shouldn't.
having a good time
I mean,
doing this.
You were posting in one of the comment sections for our friend Rev Red. You were saying, "Hey, here's some heavy vocals," and I clicked through some of the album, and it's like this is really good stuff. But
thanks,
being able to kind of see both of the dualities there and seeing both of those expressions, I think is really cool. So
it's all just songs, man.
Man.
That's the thing. It doesn't really matter how you're presenting it. The only thing that matters is a good song.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, why won't you show us your first song for today? Tell us a little bit about it, and
All right.
take it away.
Well, I figure in a situation like this, there might be some people who have heard me before, and there might be some people who haven't. So I'm going to start off with a new one here that's unreleased, and just because I like it. And maybe for the second one, I'll do something that's off of the record. But anyway. I ain't fit to live. Most times I'm an awful mess. I'm broken and battered, I'm lost and I'm tattered, I'm a drunken hole filled with regret. She's sweet as autumn's first honey, gentle as warm summer rain, but the soft of her skin and the depths of my sin will haunt me the rest of my days. And I know that she's gonna leave me, it's just a matter of time. Well, I've put her through hell, so I might as well be moving on tonight. I'm careless with my affection, I'm offering too quick to fall. But the ghosts that I walk with, they whisper their mischief, litany of all those I've wronged. And I know that she's gonna leave me, it's just a matter of time. Well, I put her through hell, so I might as well be moving on tonight. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I think one of the things that I like about our episode today, and one of the things that I know Joe cares about a lot and that I'm proud of with this show is that the focus being on the songwriting, and so being able to present something new that isn't released yet, I think that's a cool thing. So for myself, I kind of went with that same theme for today, where I said, okay, I can go back to the same ones. I've been releasing a lot of music this year, and I'm going to continue to do so. But I wanted to play a few tunes that I've been sitting on for a long time, in some cases, that I want to have a home. And so I'm going to play my first song here. This is a song that I wrote actually years ago. I'd had writer's block for the longest time, like a couple years, and came back into it and said, you know what, I'm just going to start writing. I'd set this high standard for the music I wanted to put out, and because of that, I just had a block where I couldn't get anything done. And so this was the first song I wrote when I just decided I'm just going to write, and if it sucks, I won't show anybody. But some of the songs that came out of it was some of the work I'm the most proud of, and so this was my first song back, and I think it's aptly titled Starting Over. So these words have no meaning anymore, and I've been in this place before. The smells and the sound make me sick, tired of singing night after night. It's not the notes that broke my heart, just drowning in the day-to-day. And this lifeline may be the death of me. Under the lights, night after night. dry. 'Cause too much of a good thing is still too much. So Mr. Moon, is the darkness ending soon? 'Cause my days are numbered without some daylight. And these words have no meaning anymore. And I've been in this place many times before. So Mr. Moon, is the time coming soon? 'Cause after years now, so many years now, I'm starting over. 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 Starting over.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, thank you very much.
It's dark. I like the dark. I like the dark stuff, man. I like the dark stuff a lot.
Well, then you should listen to every single song I've ever written.
Me too. Me too.
I mean, it's not entirely true. I have happy songs, but I like minor keys, and so that tends to go sideways as well. And so
Yeah.
I think I'm finally coming to terms with the fact that I'm who I am,
Yeah.
and maybe someday I'll,
It's working out for you, man. Keep going. Lean into that.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I see that Natalie joined the chat as well. Awesome, and Lena Carrington from Goddard. Thank you for tuning in as well. Mr. Joe Johnson.
So we're all playing new stuff, and I'm doing the same thing. Pretty much everything I'm playing today is new unreleased music. As everybody, you know, the last couple of years obviously have been difficult for all of us, really. If they weren't difficult for you, there's something wrong with you. But you know, I definitely experienced, you know, a lot of loss and, you know, a lot of things, big changes in life. And, you know, I dealt with that in all kinds of ways, some good, some bad. And I did a lot of writing, and through the process of it, you know, I feel like I sort of tried to find a way to let go of things, and found out, you know, how difficult that can kind of be sometimes. So all the new sort of music that I'm working on, the new album, is all kind of themes of learning to let go in different aspects of your life, and things that weigh you down, or you know, whatever you need to let go. So a lot of the songs that I've been writing lately are kind of around that theme, and this song here is a song called I'm Going to Arizona. I actually wrote this for a friend of mine. Come morning, I'm going to Arizona. I'll be a goner far as you know. Bags are packed, leaving 'cause I want. I know you're gonna cry when I go. Sun is setting fast across the prairie, where voices carry on the plain. The horses are coming in for water. Like me, they smell coming rain. I ain't been feeling free, honey, that just ain't me. I was born to ride, I was born to fly. So darling, when I go, don't think of me no more. Don't hang your pretty head and cry. It's 15 miles to gallop on the 40, and then shortly that state line. For making real good time might afford me a brief moment to stop and smile. Tell me the desert air is healing the way I'm feeling. I sure been sick, so I rolled both my windows down to feel it the way I see it. Might do the trick, 'cause I ain't been feeling free, and honey, that just ain't me. I was born to ride, I was born to fly. So darling, when I go, don't think of me no more. Don't hang your pretty head and cry. Come morning, I'm going to Arizona. I'll be a goner, I'll be a goner.
That's a nice one. I like
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I like being sad, man. It's one of my favorite things to be.
I try to write happy songs. It just doesn't work, man.
No, it doesn't.
Can't even do it.
Well, I feel like it's a great way to get it out of your system too. It's like if I can get it out, then I can live the life. You know. Got a couple friends here who joined. Shout out to Jesse. He says, "Great voice, Joe." Hi, Jesse. And my good dear friend Holga is on Facebook as well and says, "Nice." So thank you for joining there as well. Dusty, I think it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to play a country song for Joe. I learned this one for Kenny. It's called "Drunken Nights in the City." I heard Whitey Morgan in the 78's version and fell in love with the song and realized that it was actually a cover that he did of a songwriter from I think he's from the UK named Frankie Miller. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him. I'm not really. I wasn't, but I heard Whitey Morgan's version and I learned it. So I could surprise Kenny at a show one day, because, you know, I've always been a metal and hard rock guy, and I'm like, I learned a country song for you. So this is one of the country songs that I learned, and I learned this one for Kenny. It's called Drunken Nights in the City. Let me tell you a story about a night on the town. I started off drinking at 5, and by the time I was through, I worn out my shoes. I visited every known dive. All the lights in the alley fall dim on the ground when you're trying to see your way home. But them all-night ladies with their perfume so fine, yeah, won't leave a poor boy alone. Yeah, drunken nights in the city, showing their toe. They'll take you for more than you know. You can't judge a book, you can't trust a cook. Yeah, down where the neon lights go. Early next morning, I rose up so bad, my eyes were as red as the light. My pockets were empty, so was my heart. I promised I'd put things right. I went down to the preacher, fell on my knees, asked the preacher right all the wrongs. But he just shook his head and looked sorry when he said, boy, you've been on them streets far too long. Yeah, drunken nights in the city, showing their toe. They'll take you for more than you know. You can't judge a book, you can't trust a cook. Yeah, down where the neon lights go. Yeah, drunken nights in the city, showing their toe. They'll take you for more than you know. You can't judge a book, you can't trust a crook. Yeah, down where the neon lights glow. I said down where the neon lights glow. I said down where the neon lights glow. Let me tell you a story about a night on the town. Country music. I love country music.
Excellent.
Nice. That was nice to hear. Thanks.
I've been playing that one for a while. I learned that one. I was looking at it and I was like, man, that's 3 chords. I could learn that one.
Yeah, we're gonna have you singing about pickup trucks and hunting dogs before you know it, brother.
I'm about it. I'm good. I'm good with that for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, Marty, before you play, I wanted to sort of ask you. So, loving your music, and
Thanks, man.
you know, I understand you're multifaceted player, which I appreciate as well. But what's barely been mentioned is that you're a sound guy for the greatest whiskey drinking establishment in the history of the United States, and so I was curious, just sort of how running sound at that venue, which has hosted so many, like such a variety of music,
Yeah.
but some of the best singer-songwriters, I think, traveling the United States today or anywhere. I was wondering, just coming from the metal world, going into the acoustic world, how sort of seeing all those performers, running sound for those performers, working with them, how that sort of, helped you get an idea of how to do your thing, right? The good things, the bad things, all of it.
I actually didn't start working at Saloon until most of the songs from that first solo record had already been written.
Okay, cool.
I will say that working at Saloon, like on Long Way Home, my most recent album, I basically sourced every musician that plays on that record from Saloon. Like everybody from Adam Watson that plays drums for Old Number Fives and Dusty Rust, to John Paul Drum plays harmonica on one tune. Kean Byrne from the Elders plays fiddle and mandolin on it. Brandon Day from the Match Sellers plays upright bass. Like literally, like I would not have made outside of Kean. I don't think I would have made any of those friendships had it not been for Saloon. Yeah, I mean, and that crosses over into the touring stuff too. Like over the last year, I've gone out with Brooke Blanche and Johnny Lawhorn from Pentagram String Band, and I wouldn't have met either of those dudes if it wasn't for Saloon. And,
Yeah.
Travis Fields is a very special man, and I really can't thank him enough for everything that he's done for music in the Midwest. And
I'll tell you, man, I was never, I traveled all over the country, man. I played every shithole bar you can imagine. And there, that was a real special place, man. You guys always just had such an awesome, atmosphere. And
I was very thankful to be part of that family, man.
Yeah. Cool. Hit us with another song.
Very creative too in trying to keep things going at the end there too, just trying to integrate streams and
creative,
just
oh shit, you guys were on the cutting edge of the live stream thing, man. You were live streaming shows before there was a pandemic,
And I can barely make my phone work. Like Travis asked me to do all that stuff. There was this kid named Tate, I think. He was a younger guy, was like more of an IT kind of dude, and did video and things, and he would come in and help. And God bless him, he would like try to explain that crap to me, and I would just it was in one ear and out the other. I'm not as bright as I'd probably like to be.
Me neither. That's why this guy's around.
Yeah.
That guy makes all this happen.
Well, I guess I'm gonna do one off the record here. I keep changing my mind on what I want to do. I'm gonna do the title track off of my most recent solo record. It's called Long Way Home. So here we go. Take the long way home. I'm so tired, but I can't stand the night alone. Well, I forgot the words of my own song. Here we go. Sorry. The quiet streets shimmer in the rain. Tomorrow I know we'll have to do it all again. But those 25 minutes with the radio on, the chill of the night wind, the slow, slow song, the empty city softly whispers in my ear, and it's almost like you're still here. It's been a hell of a year. This is how the races run. Endless days linger past the setting of the sun. My sheets are calling out to me. The bed is about as lonely can be. But those 25 minutes with the radio on, the chill of the night wind, the slow, slow song, Empty city softly whispers in my ear. It's almost like you're still here. It's been a hell of a year. But those 25 minutes with radio on, the chill of night wind, slow song. The empty city softly whispers in my ear. It's almost like you're still here. It's been a hell of a year. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you can find that one on The Long Way Home. It's on Spotify, Bandcamp, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know you put a lot of work into your guitar playing and your electric playing too, and you may be putting a lot of time into technique, but the emotive part of that
that's the most
really
important
coming
thing,
through
man.
there.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
you can literally be a terrible guitar player. I mean, we got so many of our heroes are terrible guitar players, but brilliant songwriters. You know, Townes Van Zandt was not a shredder. Yeah, by any means. Like, he surrounded himself with wonderful musicians. But yeah, the emotion and what you're putting into the song is 50 times as important as being a technically good player, in my opinion.
I think that's where I've settled as well, and it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that I've tried to build up speed and I haven't managed. It's definitely not because of that. So, all right. Yeah, Jesse says, wow, that one pulls on my heart.
Oh, thank you, Jess.
Yeah. And Diana sends many comments. Thank you for posting that, Dusty. Trevorius says many things, including hell yeah, man. And you had a comment there earlier that fits a lot of what we're talking about, where it just says, you know, there's music for every mood. So we appreciate you guys joining us. There's a handful of us here this evening, and we like spending the time with everybody here. I think it's my turn, so I'll click a couple buttons here and get going here. I think one of the things, unfortunately, that bonded Joe and I together, I was a guest on the show when Dwayne Mark was co-hosting with him, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but both Joe and I had our mothers pass, and so for a long time I wrote about other things than that, because I wanted to give myself a break. But this was kind of one of those songs of trying to encompass some of the sadness in a song, and also, you know, to get it out. And after a while of not writing about my own life, I kind of wrote this song. Sunny days have lost their witness. Happy days have lost their peace. And I have been more happy on darker days than these. Give me all your love and answer all my dreams. Give me any answer, throw away the key. find no peace. Winter nights, when the cold seeps in through our hearth. Cigarette through the deepest cracks of my heart. Give me all your love and answer all my dreams. Give me any answer, throw away the keys, and I will find no peace. And I'm told that there is joy from good women and priests, and I think that this is true, though the memories have ceased. But yes, give me all your love and answer all my dreams. Give me any answer, throw away the keys, and I will find no peace. Thank you.
Awesome, buddy. Love it. All right. I guess it's my turn now. So this song here, and I was trying to pick, I had a few different songs that I was thinking about playing, and it was tough to kind of figure out which ones to do. But this one is pretty, I wrote it pretty recently. It's called The Wolves. I was sitting around thinking about, I was sitting out in my garage with the door open, it was late at night, and I'm having a smoke, getting ready to turn in for the evening. And way off in the distance, you could hear these wolf howling. And I got to thinking about how much you can hear them when you go camping up in the mountains. How every night, I love, one of my favorite things is to listen to them, And anyways, I got to thinking about why wolves howl. And it's basically, for two reasons. It's to communicate with their lost. It's to communicate with the pack. And the second reason, the main reason, is when they take down some prey. And that's usually one wolf will take something down and then call the rest of them to it. And so that got me to thinking about the nature of predators, which one thing leads to another in my brain, and start trying to think about, well, what's the most prolific predator on planet Earth? And after much debate and deliberation, I decided that it's actually time. That's the thing that gets everybody, no matter what, anything and everything. It's caught in the end by time. And so with that sort of whirlwind of thought process, I came out with this song. And it's kind of just about that great predator we all must face at one point or another. This song's called The Wolves. Way up in the when it's late at night. Cool air slips right down your spine. If you listen long enough, you can hear the wolves howl. Makes me shiver when I hear that sound. Makes me shiver when I hear that sound. She liked to drive I-70 hugging the curb, hollering at the Texas plate working her nerves. She was too old to learn a new way to get along, but she laughed and said only the good die young. She was a pretty fair looker back in her day, broke many boys' hearts when she walked away. But she never thought about what might have been. She said, I'm doing just fine with the shape I'm in. Yeah, boy, I'm doing just fine with the shape I'm in. Oh, began how when the weak are taken down. In a little bitty house south of Omaha, there's a little old man and a lazy dog. Short rimmed glasses and thin white frame, with eyes that seen a life's worth of pleasure and pain. Sitting on his front porch staring out, there ain't much to see but a barren ground. He used to grow corn, yeah, he used to grow hay. Now he grows a little older each and every day. Yeah, he just grows older each and every day. Oh, began to howl when the weak are taken down. The hunter and the hunted too are just the same beneath the moon. Oh, faded black and white photograph, silver frame on the dusty shelf. It ain't doing nothing but reminding me can't go back to what it used to be. Time moves faster than the people all say. Gets a little closer to you every day. I can't place it, but I swear I've been told if you never slow down, then you never grow old. I guess I'll never slow down and I'll never grow old. Oh, began to howl when the weak taking down the hunter and the hunted too are just the same as me and you. Way up in the mountain when it's late at night, cool air slips right down your spine. If you listen long enough, you can hear the wolves howl. Makes me shiver when I hear that sound. Makes me shiver when I hear that sound. Ooh.
Woo!
Thank you.
Nice.
That's a hot one.
Thank man, I appreciate it.
Well, Joe, before we move on to Dusty, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about kind of one of the themes we've had is going from heavy to softer, from softer to heavy music, and you've been getting more aggressive with your full band, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about your band and about what you got you into wanting to do more of that.
We're very aggressive. No, it's I started out making rock and roll, when I was in high school, and then I graduated, and the first 2 or 3 bands I were all kind of like, punk rock metal sort of thing, and we did tours and all around, the Southeast, and then some things sort of happened. I was homeless for a little while, and then trying to put myself back together, and I started playing acoustic guitar with some friends of mine, and just kind of fell in love with singer-songwriter stuff. So in the early 2000s, I started kind of doing that, and over the years, I just sort of developed like a sort of country-based, blues-based singer-songwriter sound, and I really have just been for years wanting to shake that up, and finally I decided, hell, it's whose career is it if it ain't mine? So why not just completely shift streams here and go with the rock and roll thing? So I just started writing it about a year and a half ago. I just started writing nothing but rock and roll songs, and really just I played with a guy named Grant Sabin sometimes. So I've played rock and roll over the years with other people and with my own band, here and there, but kind of mostly focusing on the country thing. But I just decided, man, I'm going to dive all in on just what I want to do, and not really worry about if the crowd's going to dig it or not, because they may or may not. I don't really know, and I don't expect them to if it's not their thing, But it doesn't really matter. It's what I want to do. So, and the sound, the band's kind of a sort of a, I don't know, the best way I could describe it is a grungy Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. A little bit less polished and clean, a little more.
Neil Young.
Yeah, you could do that. But we've been having a lot of fun, man. We jammed last night. We got a show coming up in November, and I've got about 16 or 18 songs that are all brand new, and man, I'm really looking forward to throwing them out there and playing some rock and roll, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Hell
What are you
yeah.
calling this project?
I'm sorry?
What are you calling this project?
It's Joe Johnson and the Wildfire, and it's funny because that's been my band for like 12 years, and they're all the guys in that band also proficiently play country and bluegrass and folk music. They're all like very, really well-rounded players. So that same band, we could play a rock and roll set and then follow it up with a country set, and
Sure.
without changing personnel. So that's pretty fun. But yes, just Joe Johnson and the Wildfire. The new album will be called The True Nature of Letting Go, and we're going to start recording it this winter. So
Badass.
yeah, stoked about it.
Well,
I'm
Dusty,
hey, just a quick second. I'm gonna turn my camera off because I need to plug my phone in. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, that's a good opportunity to say, hey, Dusty, you got one more for us? Tell us about your songs and what you've got for us.
This next song, I changed my mind on what I was going to play. I mean, you guys are playing some darker stuff. I haven't played this one for a while. I usually try to write my songs as like a catharsis for me, where like I'm working out my feelings and exploring my feelings and exploring how I feel about certain situations that happen to me. So you can, basically viscerally tell where I'm at in my life with what kind of music I'm writing at the time, pretty much. This song is called Through the Cracks. It's a very dark song. I wrote it when I was getting raked over the coals in the family law courts. I struggled significantly with that. And I knew a lot of other guys that were going through the same thing, ironically. I truly believe that system needs a lot of reform. But I was just another victim of it, and I was feeling really down about the whole thing, and that's what this song's about. So sticking with the dark themes. The song is called Through the Cracks. An unfortunate turn of events cast its spell over this town. Sunken in our heads, maybe we'd be better off dead. A blatant travesty has us falling to our knees with no way out. They said time was on our side. I think I'd have to disagree. They'll destroy your life, my friend, if you let them. You'll spend all your days biting your lip. They can't comprehend the lows that we live with, but it sure pays off watching us slip. Where is the happy end? There's no way that we can mend all these fences. They say that we'll endure. Now how far from the truth could that be? What the fuck were we thinking? So desperate and so blind, standing there just like puppets, towing the line. They'll destroy your life, my friend, if you let them. You'll spend all your days biting your lip. They can't comprehend the lows that we live with, but it sure pays off watching us slip through the cracks, falling back to where it all started. We're losing our grip. I won't drag this out, I won't string this along. I won't piss in no winds, I know I did nothing wrong. I was blind before, but now I can see. I cannot lose, I know I did everything. They'll destroy your life, my friend, if you let them. You'll spend all your days biting your lip. They can't comprehend the lows that we live with, sure pays off watching us live through the cracks, falling back to where it all started. We're losing our grip. That is Through the Cracks. You can find that on Spotify and all other digital distribution platforms, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have any other plugs that you want to get out of the way before?
No, I guess just, connect with me on social media. Connect with me on TikTok, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere. I'm everywhere, and I'm posting my music all the time. I promote nonstop. So if you look up Dusty Grant, you'll be able to find me. I try to answer every single message, every single you know what I mean? I try to interact with people because I'm not, I don't have enough people, you need your team of people that are close to you that listen to your stuff. And I feel like it's just a family, so the people that I interact with on a daily basis, are, just friends of mine. And it's awesome to have the support. So just connect with me on social media. I'd love to meet all y'all, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys. You guys are all badass songwriters, and I'm humbled to be invited for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, and the chat today's been nice and active. And if you feel ignored, then blame the operator, not the Dusty over there. We appreciate you guys coming and sticking around. We've got 2 or 3 more songs for you, and then we're gonna call it a night as well, or an afternoon if you're in America. I'm in Europe right now, in case that's a confusing statement. And hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys come over here as well. I'd love to meet up with you. So.
Well, that's where we say, hey, why don't you go ahead and book us a little tour? And,
Marty and I'll fly out together.
Yeah, well, I'm still working on developing my contacts, but I'll do what I can, and I'll shoot you a video while you're here at the very least. You can meet some cute and energetic children while you're at it. So. But yeah, Marty, you've got one more for us, and I'd love to hear about it.
I think I've changed my mind about what I'm going to do on this thing 9 times now. I'm going to try out another new one here. I don't generally write true story songs. My writing tends to be a little more introspective, but this is brand new. I've only played it out once. And I'm getting ready to leave for tour with Natalie Prowser on Tuesday, and kind of hedging about whether I should play this one out or not. And so maybe y'all can tell me if I need to toss this one in the trash. but yeah, here's we're gonna give this one a try. I don't even have a title for it yet, or I'd tell you what it was. I'm headed west for the open sky. The walls are closing in, and I fear for my life. I hold each day I spend with you until the day I die. Wish that it weren't so, but I must fly. Wish that it weren't so, but I must fly. Oh, the landed man, he comes from me. He knows his brother's blood is on my hands, and I can't see a way to fight when I've done no wrong. I will not plead. I wish that it weren't so, but I must flee. I wish that it weren't so, but I must flee. It was just last night at Maggie D's. Staggered in and stumbled over to the only seat fell into my shoulder and he hollered for a drink. Lord, I wish he'd not sit next to me. How I wish he'd not sit next to me. Well, I leaned against the polished pipe. The drunken fool missed his bar stool and thought the fall was mine. He rose with murder in his eyes and he went for his knife. Lord, I wish it so that I found mine. I wish that it weren't so, but I found mine. Oh, the yellow pine, a sea of red. Maggie's screams, they pierced me as I fled, how I fled. I killed the brother of the richest man I've ever met. Oh, wealthy man, an awful debt. Oh, and surely he means to collect. So I'm headed west for open skies. The walls are closing in and I fear for my life. A whole each day I spent with you till the day I die. I wish that it weren't so, but I must fly. Wish that it weren't so, but I must fly. I think I forgot a verse in there. That's, yeah, like I said, that one's brain. I think I wrote that one like 2 or 3 weeks ago and haven't really spent any time with it.
You have courage to play it. I would be scared to play one that was that new for me on this thing.
Man,
I don't want to embarrass myself in front of you guys.
When you're stupid, they're all new. They're new every time you play them.
That's true.
That's the cool thing about songs is like if you change a verse or you drop a verse until it's recorded, that's how the song goes.
Right.
All right.
Even after it's recorded, the way I
Hey,
do it.
I wanted to chime in because I did listen to both of those songs, even though I had my phone plugged in and it was pointed up at my ceiling, so I didn't think you'd want to look at that. But you guys are both really awesome, man. I really appreciate you joining us for this show.
Thank you so much, man.
I
enjoy
really
your
couldn't
tunes,
think
too. We need
of
to-
a better show to send this thing out on. And before Brian plays, since he never gets to have the introduction because he's always like captaining
Introducing.
his ship, I want to just for everybody watching, I started the show with Dwayne Mark a couple of years ago, and wouldn't have kept going to where it is to 7 episodes without Brian. He's been a good friend and a good motivating force for me, and I'm notoriously hard to motivate. So he's done real well and been patient with me in a lot of that, and he's a great songwriter as well. So, Brian, I just wanted to give you a proper introduction before you play your last song. So, yes, everybody a hand for Brian Griffing, my esteemed co-host.
Well, I appreciate that you were open to having me join you, and yeah, I'm glad that we were able to connect. I wish it had been under more fortunate circumstances, but this is the good that comes out of the sad. So I appreciate you. I've got one more song here, and I think what I'll say for it is this is, shameless plug time. I'm gonna release this song in the next 2 to 3 weeks as my next single, and I've been sitting on it for a while for a couple reasons. One was just timing of when I wanted to release the song, but also it's a song I wrote for my wife, and so, in all honesty, I wanted to wait for a month where we didn't argue quite as much so that she would believe me when I say these things. So Yeah, this is a song about life, and a conversation I had with Dwayne a few times was, after years of his relationships, him realizing, we've been through a lot together, and so this is what that song is about. Yeah, if you want to see the recorded version, youtube.com/Brian Griffing. If you're not watching it there already, I would appreciate a follow and a subscribe. And yeah, this is that song. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who to trust. So here's to all my friends I'm losing. Here's to all my friends. So I don't know where I'm going to. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what to trust. The lights and the sounds are making it difficult to hear your voices. So I don't know where I'm going to. So here you are, next to me. And sometimes that's just how life goes. But darling, I want you to know, I think you're the kicks and the giggles. So darling, let's just sit back, relax, and see what happens next. And I want you to know, yeah, I want you to know that I have found you, the someone I rely on. All the ways I find you, the someone I rely on. By the way I find you, the someone I rely on. By the way, by the way, by the way. So I don't know where I'm going. I just know that I'm going there with you.
That was awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
Hell of a tune, man.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, that's coming out in a couple weeks. It's waiting on a piano part that I think I'm going to have to end up playing myself. So there we go. Sincerely, I want to thank everybody who tuned in, and especially big thank you to Dusty and Marty. Marty Bush going on tour starting tomorrow, I believe. And where can we
Tuesday,
find your
actually.
Tuesday? Where can we find your concert dates, please?
Bands in Town, Songkick. If you go to my Spotify page, I think the Songkick is linked to there. But if you're somewhere between Wyoming and Colorado and upstate New York, you're probably going to see us.
So next time you're coming through Colorado, you got to get a hold of me. I'll get you
Yeah, I
down
will
this
for
way.
sure. I feel like in January and February, me and Johnny Lawhorn are coming through that direction again.
Cool.
So we'll hit you up and let's do 2 or 3 shows together.
Yeah, we'll have to be Facebook friends. I think I'm at my limit of Facebook friends, but I'll just
So
dump
popular,
some
man.
asshole I don't like and
So popular.
add you.
But yeah, we'll hit you up.
Cool.
After this, we don't need to be internet friends. We can just exchange some digits or something. I don't
Cool.
use the internet really very well. So
Do you have any other last plugs there, Marty, or?
yeah, actually, if you don't mind giving me a minute or two to talk about Natalie Prowser's new record that is coming out. She's putting her first solo record out, and she's a 23-year-old woman who is writing songs like she's John Prine when he was 65. Like I just don't understand it. She is
beautiful.
She is one of the most
beautiful.
talented songwriters in America, and she was very kind. That's actually who I'm going on tour with in November and December as well. But she was very kind and allowed me to not only produce and help with arrangements on her record, but I also play drums, bass, baritone, lead, electric, acoustic, sing some backups. I'm really proud of the record. Devin Turan plays pedal steel, who normally plays with me as well, and it's up for pre-sale on Bandcamp. You get a couple songs. Can't recommend it enough. Natalie Prowser, Prauser. This girl will be. She's going to be really important. I fully believe. It's weird to plug somebody else, I suppose, but
No,
yeah,
that's fine.
she's
I
my
listened in on the tracks, the last couple days right after she posted it, and
Yeah.
I want to get behind that statement as well. It's beautiful music, well written, and a beautiful voice as well. And so,
Yeah. If you like Bobby Gentry or Loretta Lynn or John Prine, you're gonna love Natalie Prowser. It's kind of, she writes like Prine, she sings like Bobby, and she's got some attitude like Loretta. It's great. That's it.
well,
That's all I
we
got.
appreciate you joining us, and it's been nice reconnecting over the last few months as well.
Yeah,
Glad
man.
we got to catch up. Last time I was in Kansas City, so hopefully it won't be too long before I see you again. So time to come to Europe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We'll see. We'll see. When
yeah,
that
yeah,
happens.
yeah. It's no joke.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. Dusty, how about you? Any last plugs?
No, I just stoked to be here. I appreciate it. If anyone checks my
Dusty
music,
would like to talk about Natalie Prowser's new album that is.
I'd love to talk about Natalie's new record. No, I have plans to release another song this year. It's a cover. It's a Clutch tune, and then we're gonna release something at the beginning of 2023. We're already working on demos. We're going way heavier. It just keeps happening. I can't stop that force in my blood. Like I play with people that are metalheads, and they came into the band, and Jason and I have started writing tunes together, and he's a shredder, and when he writes stuff, he sends it to me. I'm like, ooh, I might have to scream again. But no, that's it. Just, whatever you guys are, connecting any way you're connecting with me, thank you so much. And I'm again humbled to be in you guys' presence. You guys are all great songwriters, great talents, great dudes. So I'm really humbled to even have the opportunity to be invited to do this. So.
No, we really appreciate you coming on and also connecting us with your people, and that's kind of been one of the beginning things from the get-go for the show, that we want to introduce each other and to each other's people, and and kind of build some of that community, even if it's over the internet, over a far distance. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to remove Dusty and Marty briefly from the main part of the stream here, just because Joe and I wanted to chat for just a couple more minutes. If you guys stay online, then we can chat afterwards after we end the broadcast. But thank you again for being our guests, and we appreciate you.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. I really appreciate it.
This is fun.
Thanks, guys.
I would say let's do it again, but sounds like that's not a thing.
There'll be other streams of some varieties.
Yeah, let's coordinate some stuff. This is fun.
All right, Joe. Just you and me.
Yeah, buddy. And before my phone dies, it's almost dead.
All right.
So what a way to go out. Yeah.
It's all part of the streaming game. One of the things that we wanted to do to kind of conclude is, one of the things that connected us, before we started with the show was Dwayne Mark, and he was my best man actually, and a dear friend for over a decade, and I guess I wanted to ask you a couple things, and then we'll see how the battery life does, but. I was thinking, there's some small ways that he had an impact on my life, like the fact that I palm my picks in a certain way, because I used to, go back and forth between finger picking and strumming, and then just throw the pick on and grab another one from my microphone stand. And he's like, why don't you just palm it? And this is something that's so natural to me at this point, and it's something that's based on a small comment that he made, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. And so I guess my question was, do you have any small, kind of insignificant but lasting things that you picked up from Dwayne Mark? Or there can even be bigger things if you can't think of anything right at this moment.
Man, that fishing is the best metaphor for life. That's something that I picked up from him. Honestly, everything I think I picked up from him was pretty significant, and not the least of which was, a sense of community that guy had with all the songwriters that he knew. If you met Dwayne Mark, you met a friend. You didn't meet anything short of a good friend, and the songwriting world can be kind of a competitive place, unfortunately. Not with the people I run with, because I run with good people, but it can be a kind of a competitive world. And Mark was always about lifting everybody up, and if he got any kind of shine, he was quick to say who else was responsible for it. And he and I were very much alike in that, and very much a brother in arms that I'm always going to hate what wasn't around for what's to come, because a lot of the people that called him a friend have big things that are happening, and I know that he would have been more happy than anyone to see everybody's success. So yeah.
Well, that was something that impressed me with the memorial, when we did a memorial show at the Westport, and I don't think he got his due as far as some of the crowds or large amounts of people attending, but the bands and the artists came from all over the country just to pay their respect. And I think that there's all the personal ways that I could go into, but just the general ways that everybody can see. That's something that I do want to point out, is to say, if you can get all the musicians to spend money they don't have to come to a show that doesn't pay to pay tribute to somebody they love, that's something significant, and not something that I can say about a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You get a tribute show for Taylor Hawkins, and and other people too, but not everybody gets a farewell like that. And
absolutely, and it's well deserved, man. He's going to be missed by anybody that ever knew him. So that's a fact.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say that because I'm going to run out of power here soon, man, and I hate to say that, but before that happens, I wanted to say that when he and I first discussed doing this was kind of his brainchild, but we agreed that we were going to do, whether it worked or not, whether people were watching or not, that we were going to keep it going to at least 7 shows. And that was something I was looking back at my notes from our first conversations about it, because I keep notes on everything. And we agreed to do at least 7 because in numerology, 7 is the number of wholeness or perfection. 7 is a complete number. Yeah. And so we agreed to that. And it's kind of ironic that that's exactly what's happening, thanks to you. I was able to do 3 shows with Mark before his passing. We did skip one after his passing. But when you and I decided to to do this, or when you convinced me that you would handle the technicals, I would just join you. We agreed to do through the year, and I find it kind of a beautiful irony that this show is number 7, and so I do feel like we've managed to complete something. I feel good about being able to complete this thing that he and I started out on together. And I did want to quickly just thank everybody that's been a part of this show, all 7 episodes: Jeff Daugherty, Tim V, Laura Hope, Ryan McGee, Ryan and Jesse, Gus Clark, obviously you were on episode 3. Reverend Red, Marshall, love that man. John Emery, Aram, and of course Marty and Dusty today. It's just been an awesome thing. That the whole point of this show was to try to get songwriters together with different audiences, introduce each other to our crew, and I think that's been accomplished, man. And I really appreciate you for helping see that vision through, Brian. So thank you.
I appreciate you letting me join you, and not to be too much of a kiss ass, I really admire your writing and your voice, and the way you play. All 3 of those things come together in such a way that I have found some moments being very envious of, and so I'm glad that some of it is starting to be recognized a bit more. And
thanks, brother.
Some of the cool stuff you've been able to do, little things like playing in front of a full symphony backing you. That's just so cool when things like that happen. And so I did want to just briefly mention, in case we were too hinty about it, this is going to be our last regular Fifth Sunday Sing live streaming show. I think Joe and I are already talking about some specials that we can release and such, but the focus of this show has been on songs and songwriting, and so as long as his battery allows, I'm going to ask Joe to close this out now with one more song, and wish you all a good night, and please stay in touch, follow the other artists, and into the night we go.
Thanks, buddy. This song is called, a brand new song is called Stones in the Water, and I live here in Colorado. I'm from Mississippi. When I was growing up, we used to love to go pick agates out of the creeks, and they're real small and smooth, and polished, and all the rocks up here in the river are real big and jagged, and it takes a real long time for those rocks to work their way all the way from here down to the eventually to the water, to the ocean. And so I just thought that was a great metaphor for change and growth, and how long it can take. So I wanted to finish this venture out with a song about change, and this song's called Stones in the Water. Stones in the water roll to the sea. Takes a long time, but eventually, yeah, that river gonna set 'em free. You and me, babe, two of a kind. You're a diamond, I'm the cold down, the cold gold mine. Perpetual motion moves me along, 1 minute here, 1 minute gone. Once a child, forever growing old. See my grave kept clean when I move on. Stones in the water roll to the sea. Takes a long time, but eventually, yeah, that river will set 'em free. Ain't that river just like me?